this thing on already? Jeez. We are back. Okay, listen. Little lunchtime stream today. Camera's a little wonky, but we're going to get through it together. This is Brian, Superboard Sunday, and we're going to be playing a solo game called Black Sonata. Published by Side Room Games. It's another one of those print and play games that kind of made it success and made an impact that so much so they made the game an actual game. So you can print and play this game. There's going to be a couple reasons why you wouldn't want to do that, and I'll show you why as we talk about it. But if you guys saw my playthroughs of the game Maquis, hold on a second, let me grab that. Same publisher. So we played this before. Same situation where this was a print and play turned into an actual game. So same box size and everything. So cool beans all around. So easiest way for me to explain Black Sonata and what you're doing in it is to read the top part of the story. It's Bill Shakespeare, but there's more to it. The identity of the Dark Lady from Shakespeare's sonnets has eluded scholars and historians for more than 4 centuries. In Black Sonata, you will pursue the elusive lady through the streets and alleyways of Elizabethan London, catching glimpses and whispers which may yield clues to her identity. However, not all the evidence is clear. You need to sharpen your wits if you are to finally unmask the Dark Lady before she slips quietly into the pages of history and is lost. So this is a deduction game, which I'm not the best at, but I've heard great things about this game, and this game is has a couple mechanisms that are pretty fascinating. So not a full rules explanation. There's plenty of those online, and I'll kind of talk through my turns as we go. But essentially, we are William Shakespeare. This is a life-size William Shakespeare. Fun fact, he was born on my birthday and presumably died also on his birthday. Not the same day, but there's no record of his actual death, but they believe it was also on his birthday. So what a way to celebrate his creation and end on the same day of the year. So fun facts galore. So we're going to start right out here in wherever we want. I'm starting out here in Bishopsgate. We have a deck of cards here. This deck of cards represents the Dark Lady's movement. I'm not going to look at it right now because it kind of represents the locations that she goes. But essentially, this deck is curated in such a way where it's a preset path. This deck right here is in such an order where the game itself knows where the lady's moving to and from. And that's denoted by putting them in order here. So when you start the game and set it up, you pick a letter, you pick a kind of a column where what path you want her to take. And then you order them alphabetically. So I'm going with the top left. So we have A, B, C, D, and so on, all the way to Z. That's the way that the game knows the path that she's taking. And there are, as you can tell, 8 combinations here. You can reverse the path as well, which I'm doing now. So instead of starting with A at the top, I'm starting with A at the bottom, ordered. There are also other cards as well that have some dashes as well. So picking certain columns, there's different routes. I believe there's 56 total routes that you can take throughout the game. They have these symbols here. These are the Dark Ladies. There are 4 of them because at any one time she could be up to 4 places. By that I mean when we flip over a card, it'll tell us where she is, and she might be in the same type of location, as in these guys are playhouses. So there's 3 of them. So she could be up to 4 places, but it's up to us to decide or deduce where she is and find her. How do we do that? We're going to start the game, and I'll kind of show you how that works out. But essentially, when we think we are in the same place as the Dark Lady, we will take say we believe she is at Blackfriars. We take the top card of the deck where if we're in the same location, if we think we're in the same location as her, and we will take it and we will slide it under it and flip it over. And it's not it. So we were wrong. But if the location finds the Dark Lady, we have found her and we get clues to find her. The whole goal is this card I'm not using, so that's kind of why it's for the example. The whole goal of the game is to visit all the places. There are cards for each of the locations here, which we'll keep up here. And the whole goal is to find one of the dark ladies. So what we do is we take this huge deck, and we're going to shuffle it. But at the end of the game, once we believe we have the answer, and the answer is like this, we need to deduce what symbols are on the dark lady's card that we're trying to find. When we do that, we would guess here by putting these down. It doesn't matter the order, just you're deducing what symbol she has. And if you meet up with her again, you just say, do you have these symbols? And if I flip this over and she does, I win. If not, I lose. How those clues are deduced is you have to keep finding her. Keep finding the dark lady. She keeps giving you clues like this. So we're going to be flipping over cards like this. I'll bring this down here so you can see more. And this card gives you all the clues. So for example, if I have a card, my mystery card is here, my dark lady is here, not sure who she is. The other one of the same suit is placed right here. I'm not worrying about her just yet, but we're focused on finding the symbols like this that are on this card. As you get clues, you'll flip over more of these dark ladies and they'll give you clues. So this one is saying this suit, that this card has one of these symbols on it. So the game is you trying to find more of these clues that give you more of these to then deduce what is on this card. So it's kind of like that. Easier if I show you. And it's a system I didn't believe would work, but works. And I'm not it's a cool little deduction game, and I'm not the best at it. I'll also talk about these fog cards, which are right here, which as you locate the dark lady, she runs away, vanishes, and you lose her again, so you have to find her. It's kind of a game of insanity, which is right up my alley. So we're going to be looking for Acorn. I just want to make sure that's not the hard one, because there's one that's like, maybe play without the acorns. Easy mode after signing, blah, blah, blah. That's fine. Whatever. We're going to play it. And so you take, this is the dark lady that we are looking for. We then take the same suit and we get this card here, down here. So now if we visit, actually I'm going to put it over here, because if we visit all the locations, every time we visit a location, we take the card. Once this is depleted and we've visited all the locations, we get this clue for free. So that's an incentive to keep looking around London to see, can I get this clue? And now we will shuffle this deck. I'm going to put the clues on top here, and we'll get to those when we get to those. So the game works in 3 rounds. This is going to go at the bottom of the deck. But first, what you have to do is cut the deck. You don't shuffle the deck because this is, like I said, it's a predetermined order, and it kind of goes in a loop. A through Z, A through Z. So no matter how many times you cut the deck, so if I cut the deck like this without shuffling, the order is maintained because it's still kind of going, whatever letter this is, it's still going back to A to Z, back to A to Z. So I'm going to cut it a couple more times, one more time, and that's her potential starting location. This is where the Dark Lady is beginning. So she is beginning in a church, which is one of 3 places. And so now we know that she's there, but she gets to move again. I believe she moves again. I'm going to make sure that that's how the turn... yes, you update the Dark Lady's location. And we're just going to go, and you'll see how it works out. We haven't visited Bishop's Gate yet. Until we come back and visit it is when... or if we stay there. And this, on our turn, we can stay in our location. Maybe hoping she comes towards us. You'll see how this works out. So we take this one and we flip it to the next one. And now she's moved to a spot with money. So you did, and she actually could have been here too. So it's, because there's a church is right here. Now, going from a church to a money, She can do that because there's a church to a money here. Church, there's a lane here where she can go to that. She could have also gone there. So that's covers that route. And then she could not have reached a money spot here. So she is only at these two locations. Now, my instinct is to maybe go down here. She might go to a spot that has a beer on it. So I'm going to go down here to East Cheap. Find East Cheap in this deck of cards. This is now mine to keep for when I decide to look for her. Now I flip over the next card for her. Now she's at a home. So actually, there's only one place she can be, and that's where I just was here. Because she can't, there's no home direction from here. But she can go from this cornhill to this home here. So she's definitely here. We know that for sure as she's moving. Now, do I chase her, thinking she might go back up here, or hope she comes down here for a beer? I'm going to wait. Oh, I missed a couple of them. Let me, started at a church. I just want to make sure I have this. I'm going to put this card here, because when I reach the end of the deck, I then flip this over to one more turn, and then after, when it hits 0, you're done. So I'm making sure I put this in the right spot. Almost a bad move, but we're good. We're back in action. I'm going to wait. I'm going to think she'd come down for a beer, so let's see where she goes. Ah, yes. Hopefully I've done this right. But she's moved from a house to a beer, and we've been keeping track of her path, so we know she's here. So what we're going to do is, I already have East Cheap's card. You take one of these fog cards, because once you search a location, that location goes away from the deck. So it becomes a little mysterious, so you don't know where she's been going. You take one of these fog cards, and without looking at the card below this, you slip it underneath. You don't know the next stop. Then you're going to take the East Cheap card and line them up and hope that the Dark Lady is there. Boom, got her. Yet do not so, but since I am near slain, kill me outright with the looks and rid my pain. Nailed it. Bill Shakespeare. So we found her. The card that you used, or the card that was basically East Cheap, is away. You put it away from the game. The fog card is there. And we get a clue. So we get the top clue of this deck. Or the top card of this deck, which will give us hopefully some clues. We found Elizabeth Vernon, and she is telling us that 2 of these symbols are on this card. So that's a very decent clue. So exactly 2 of these are on this card. So that's a very good clue to get. That's good to know. But watch as I am terrible at these at these things. So we'll see how it goes. So now we just we have to advance this one more time. You advance the deck 1 for every clue. From here, she went to a money spot, and then we actually get to do it. We have to do it one more time, so now it starts her turn again. So now she goes from a money to a church, which could actually be here as well. So once you find her once, she flees. You've tracked her down, and she's like, I'm out of here. Now I'm going to find her again. So it's up to us to go kind of track her down. I'm actually going to go down here to London Bridge. At this point in the game, there's really no set, it's kind of a guess. I'm hoping, it's tough to memorize a deck of 26 cards, and as you add fog cards, it gets harder. So my goal is to at least visit all of these places. Maybe she'll go back to a boat, but also from St. Paul's here, there's a Blackfriars has a boat, so we'll see what happens. So she's going from that church, she's going to a place with beer. So either she went back to East Cheap, or she stayed here in Southwark, and I believe she did. That's my guess. I believe she came down to Southwark, hung out. Maybe she'll come down to the boat next. So I'm gonna stay. Maybe bring her in towards me. Well, she's at London Bridge or Cornhill. Now, that's tough. I don't know if I want to chance it. Chancing it's fine. You'll just kind of adding fog cards can be good or bad. We'll get to what those mean when we get there. Maybe we'll just try it. So we're going to take the fog card. She could be at either of these two places. Flip the fog card behind the money. Take my London Bridge card and slide it behind here. Hopefully. We found her. Wow, okay, cool. Therefore I lie with her, and she with me, and in our faults, by lies we flattered be. Wow. True words never spoken, Bill. So, we found her there, and we get to another clue, which is great. This is good stuff. Get this card here. We get Winfred Burbage. So, this is actually... Oh, we found the other one, and here's what I'm talking about. So, the acorn, one of these symbols is on this card. So now we know, this is dumb because deduction is crazy, but unfortunately we can't deduce which one of the two are right yet because this card doesn't have these symbols. The symbols are here, and that means there's a 1 of 6 chances. All right. So now we have 2 clues. So without looking, we have to move 2 cards to the back. So we don't know where she went next after this. But now she's at a playhouse. So we look at the playhouses, make sure that all the playhouses are marked. So she's fleed. And then we start her turn again. So she went from a playhouse to a place with beer. That can only be one place. Southwark. Because it's a playhouse, there's no beer there. Playhouse, there's no beer there. And what do we want to do? Maybe I'll go down to Southwark just to get that. Maybe she might stay there to church. Maybe had a couple beers. Want to get some church in. We got to find Southwark, which is here. Go to the next location. She went from there to a house. So from here to a house, only way she can go from a church to a house while being in Southwark is there. Let's follow her. I'm gonna run to the Liberty of the something. What's it called? Liberty of the Clink. Take that card in our hand. From there, she's going to a playhouse, which she either stayed there or went to Blackfriars. So she's either with us or against us. No, either she's with us or she's over at Blackfriars. Interesting. Our luck has been good. We've had great luck with this, with finding her. I don't know if I want to chance it right now. So, do I want to chance it right now? Is the question. Let's look for her. Fine, why not? We've had good luck. Gonna take a fog card and slip it into the top of the deck. We're going to take our Liberty of the Clink card and line it up thusly and flip it. No, we missed her, so she's definitely here. So what happens is, again, we lose this location. In this deck now, she moves 2 more spaces. We can't look at that second space. Now she's at a house. So she can either be here or here. Or here. Because if she went from here, 1, 2, 1, 2, that's some deducing you can do. So she's at either of these 3 places. She could be at Liberty of the Clink. We'll never know. She moves again, though. At a place with a tree, which is, in this game, is a rural area. So she could either be here or here. There's no rural areas down here. She is yellow card way away from me right now. I'm going to go to Blackfriars. Do I have that card yet? I do not. And then she's going to move again. Going back to a house, or to a house, because she could go from Shoreditch down to the Bishopsgate house. She can go from Clerkenwell to the Cripplegate house, or she could have gone from Clerkenwell to the Blackfriars house. So it's Shakespeare. One of Shakespeare's residences is what that stands for. The key is right there. So she could be here with us. I mean, I don't know if I want to guess again. So I'm gonna move up to St. Paul's and just see where she goes after that. My goal is to get these cards so I can then free. And sorry, I'm doing this one-handed, which is why there's a mess of cards. But if I get all these locations, I can see this clue, and that might help some way. Going to a place with money. Oh, we're getting closer because the only place that she can go from these spots are here and here to Cornhill. So we know she is in Cornhill. Now, does she come to us? We go to her. I want to go up to actually we don't have Cornhill. I'm gonna go to Cripplegates. She goes next. Oh, so she's either at Bishopsgate or Cripplegate. I think we should search for her. I think she came to us. We went to Cripplegate to try to bypass. Oh, maybe she's there. Try it. Fog card. There. The fog card mechanism is really, I mean, this whole game has really neat mechanisms. The fog card is nice too because you're dealing with a face-up deck almost the whole time, so you don't want to see what's under this. Could be more fog cards for all you know. But we're going to take this and the Cripplegate card, line them up, and hope that we've tracked down the Dark Lady. We missed her, so we know she's here. I'm not going to read that yet until we find her with that card. So we then take these two cards, and since we have two clues, we take two cards and we put them behind. Now she went to a boat. So she could be from here. If she went 3 places, she'd have to be just here. This is just the deduction part. Oh no, she could be there too. We're gonna go there as well because she could have went from here. 1, 2, boat, or 1, 2, boat. Could not have gone over here. It's too far. So we know she's at one of these 2 places. She goes again though. Tavern. So she either went from this boat to this tavern or this tavern from here. So either way. Where do we want to go? Let's go to Cornhill. She's now at she went back to a boat place. So now she either went from here to this boat spot or here to that boat spot. Where does she want to go? Where the deducing is tough. I'm missing from. I need 3 locations. I don't know if I want to start running away. I need Clerkwell. I need Bishopsgate, so I'll go back to Bishopsgate just to get the card. See where she goes. She went to a house. So she either stayed here in Liberty of the Clink or went from Liberty of the Clink to Blackfriars. Fine. I do need Shoreditch. I think we have some time to find her, so we'll go up to Shoreditch, grab that card. Now she went to a rural area. So she definitely went from here to here. We might close in on her. So I might make my way to Cripplegate to see if she's heading that way. So I'll go there. So from Clerkenwell, she went back down to Blackfriars, which is fine. But now I get to go to Clerkenwell. Pause there because that's my final location that I visited all the locations. I get this free clue. And this is not great. Well, this is actually perfect. I'll show you why. Whoop. This card is telling me that on my... I was looking at the wrong one. Dumb. So on my acorn card, one of these is correct. One of these things is correct. Now, My deduction skills are terrible, especially when trying to do with other people, like everyone watching here. So one of these symbols is on that card. Let's do a little comparison here. So we have these 3 clues. I believe we could very well deduce that. Oh, it can't be. So if one of these are correct, that means. Oh, that's a tough one. So in this card, 2 of these are correct. Well, it can't be. It might be that it is rattle or one of these. Oh man, I'm the worst at deduction. Because this is telling us that one of these icons are here. And this can't be the rattle. Because if it was the rattle, that means these 2 cards are not on it. Or these 2 icons are not on it because this card is telling me that 2 of these are. So I think the rattle is out. So meaning we're looking at these 2 now for this card. And if one of these are correct, that means one of these are not correct. And it has to be the heart. I think the heart is definitely in. And this is, if you are watching, you're like, you have no idea what you're talking about. Hear me out. So again, this card is saying that only one of these is correct. Or here is saying 2 of them are correct. If this card does say 2 of them are correct, oh, wait a minute. One of them, it has to be either one of these, because 2 of these are correct, and that would have to include them. So we know the heart is in for sure because of that deduction. The heart is on this card for sure. Now, that means the rattle is out because we know that one of these has to be correct. And if the heart is, then another one of these has to be correct because another one of these has to. So it's madness. So the rattle's out. So we know it's either the chain and we still have to keep searching, but it's either the chain and the inkwell, then one of these 2, but the heart is in, I believe. We found her. Oh no, we got the clue, and now she's gonna move again, hoping she comes up to here, up to me. Ooh, end of the round. So now I flip this over to 1, and we still have 2 more shots to go through the deck. So she moved from Blackfriars to either St. Paul's or Clerkenwell. So she could be here. I don't know if she is. We're gonna try anyway because I want to see if that's her. So we're gonna take a fog card. We're gonna be getting some fog soon. I'll tell you that much. I think she's here. Clerkenwell. Line the cards up. Again, take them over. Line them up. Flip it. Not there. So she's definitely here. And I don't know if it's cheating to look, but if we look at St. Paul's, just to see if we're on the right path, you know? It might be cheating, but listen. Let's try it out anyway. We did that. Yeah, she's at St. Paul's. And that probably is cheating, but I want to make sure that I'm still on the right track with this game. So she's not there. So we lose that card here off to the side. And now because we have 3 clues, we move this thing 3. So now she's running away. 3. And all of a sudden we're at a fog card. I want to look at the rules real quick. See what happens when we reach a fog card. Oh, and now it just gets harder because now we take the top card of the fog deck, slide it face down beneath the fog card on top of the deck. If there were no fog cards left, you lose the game. So if we keep searching and losing, I guess that's a way to lose. Turn over the top card of the fog deck. Okay, so let's try that. So now we have to do the fog action, which is taking yet another fog, which isn't great, and sliding it under this fog. and flipping over this card to see what it tells us to do. I don't want to look. There we go. Move your pawn to a neighboring location. So that's not that bad, but it's not, you know. I'll move it over to Cripple Gate. And then that's it. Then we move on with her. So that was the option she used to use the Fox card. Okay. Prevents me from searching for her that turn. So now she's at a money spot. So I believe she'd be here. That's the case. So she's there. I'm going to go up to Shoreditch and see where she goes. Goes to a church. Do I wait? I think I might wait for her. Maybe she's got to come up to Shoreditch. Ah, she ended up going down to East Cheap. I'll move down to Bishop's Gate to try to chase her. Ooh, fog. I believe this is when we found her. So I believe we can choose not to use the fog. I'll make sure. Top card is a fog card, then the lady still moves along the same path as before, but the fog prevents you from searching for her that turn. However, you may optionally use the fog's special action to do so. Oh, okay, so I can use it if I want to. I don't think I will. I think I'm gonna stay there. So I'm gonna still stay in Bishop's Gate. She's definitely here. I think she'd be there. So we're at Bishop's Gate. So we're gonna take another fog card. Take that. Take Bishop's Gate, which is right here. Hopefully, when I line these up, the Dark Lady shows up. No, man. Thought I had it right. Okay. I definitely have it wrong. So, take that. We are going to move 3 of these cards to the back. Now she is at somewhere with a house. So she could be anywhere at this point. Starting to lose her. She could be on Bishop's Gate for all I know. Let's go to Cornhill, because there are 2 paths that would lead her to Cornhill. A fog card. We're not going to use the fog card. I'm going to stay there. Now at a church. Could be here, here, Bishop's Gate, or Southwark. I'm still staying at Cornhill. I'm waiting for her to come to me. I think I have time to. Is that a house? Which could be here, here. Wow, it could be anywhere. Come on. Come to Cornhill. Now either up at Shoreditch or Glurkenwell. The only arbor. I'm gonna go over to Bishop's Gate. Hope for a church here. The house, so she could be there, but she could also be at Blackfriars or Cripplegates. I'm going to Cornhill again. He's got to be there. If I for some reason shuffled the deck by accident, she has to be at Cornhill because she's moving from a house to a money. That's the only money spot that can happen. So I think we found her. We only have 2 more fog cards left too, so we are running close to losing her. So we put that there. I believe she's at Cornhill. Take this guy and Cornhill, swap it, that, and flip it. Ah, we found her. Okay. Him have I lost. Thou hast both him and me. He says the whole, and pet am I not free. What? Anyway, now we get another clue. Might help us. Which will hopefully help us because we're running low on fog cards. We have 2 more fog cards left. And we have Jacqueline Field. And she's saying, and this is what we need. This is perfect. Wait, no, it's not. It's not great. No, okay, here we go. We got clues. Jacqueline Field is telling us that on this card, there are 0 or 2 of them on this card. On this card, there are 0 or 2 of these. Now, we definitely know what we have here. We've already deduced by some matrixy stuff that the heart is definitely one of them. By doing that, we ruled out the rattle. So, if we ruled out the rattle here, then the inkwell and the ring has to be it. Has to. Go real quick again. So, this card is telling us that 2 of these have to be it. Whereas this card, it has to be on this card here. Whereas Penelope Rich is saying that only one symbol is on this card. If that's the case, and if one of them has to be, this is telling you that the rattle is definitely out. I think we got it. I think we got it. So now we have to find her again. So the problem is we have to move her 1, 2, 3, 4 spots. So she's completely lost to us. We have to look again for her. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now she's at a tavern. And we move her one more time. So now what we have to do is we have to track her down. And then I believe we have to search for her again. Once we search for her again, we have to then just guess, or, do we have them right? I want to make sure. Yep, so yeah, we have to find her again. So we basically have 2 more chances to find her. Otherwise we lose. If we can't place another fog card, we lose. Moves again. Is at a place with a boat. Here. Where do I want to go? I know this is right, so now it's just about finding her one more time. I'm going to go to use cheap. Now either staying here or over to Blackfriars, which isn't great for me. Going down to London Bridge. She's now way up here. She's definitely up there. Go to East Cheap. Now back down to Blackfriars. Now we have one more deck rotation before it's over. Now we have a fog card. I don't want to use it. If I used it, we would have to put 1 under it. Now she's at a place with money somehow. So she could have been, I think, only there because there was only 1 fog card between those 2. So she's got to be there. Maybe I'll wait here at Bishopsgate or East Cheap, and she'll come down for a beer. She's up here, or I'm going to go to Bishopsgate. Fog card. Again, I'm not going to use it. Now she's at a place with money, so she could be here or here. I'm going to go to East Cheap. And she's either at Southwark or Bishopsgate. I'm going to stay here. Let's try it. She could have either stayed at Southwark or she's at East Cheap. I'm going to hopefully guess she's at East Cheap. It's my final chance, or I have one more chance after this, but if she's at East Cheap. That East Cheap card. There it is. For the game. We got her. She was at East Cheap. So we found her, and now, because we successfully found her, I think we still get one more clue. Let me just make sure, because if we, I mean, I don't know. You must have identified all three of her characteristics. Did it. Then you must place successful search in your location. Got it. Confront the lady on the same turn. If you find her at the location, then confront her by revealing. Okay. Okay, let's see what we got. So through the location or the deduction of these cards, I've, with somewhat certainty, believe that these three icons are on this card. We're going to flip this card and see if I was right. Oh, wow, I was way wrong. My deduction was terrible. It was Lucy Morgan with, I definitely had the heart right, but these two were wrong. Where did I run away with that? How did I? Oh, that makes... Here's where I went wrong on my deduction. I should have at least guessed the crown by this card here, because this is saying 0 or 2 are not in it, and we ruled out this. So because that is not one of them, interesting. So I was wrong. I thought it was these, and it was that. Oh man, I was wrong. I'm terrible with deduction, but I got one right. So that's kind of how you play it. Again, not a complete tutorial on how to play the game, but I mean, hopefully you had fun watching. It gets the brain working, because there's a lot of deduction, and I bet that anyone watching this right now could easily pause the screen, figure it out, that because of all these clues. So I guess by knowing, we could kind of guess, but we knew the rattle was out by our deduction. Then that means one of these were correct because they were here. And that meant the heart, definitely. That's how we got the heart. Jacqueline came in and threw me through a loop, because 0 or 2 of them. So if it was this... Oh. No, it still doesn't. Not fine, because if we knew this was 0... Yeah, if I somehow could have deduced that the crown, that the ring was in, we would have gotten it. Because even with me knowing that the rattle wasn't in, the rattle means has children, that still could have been either of these. Or 2 was the... I would need to have taken one more out. So that is Black Sonata. So we luckily, I mean, found her the last time, had one more chance, but also I had these wrong. By 2. It should have been the other 2. So I hope you guys had fun with that. So I'll show you real quick. I don't know anything about the expansion, but it also, shout outs to Upstart Board Gamer. I bought the expansion as well, and it comes in a little box that, once emptied, can fit in the base box, and it's the Fair Youth. And I believe it adds more Dark Ladies, gives you some more icons, and some more pawns to play with, as well as some new decks of cards here. So, and it all fits in the box real nicely. So that's Black Sonata. Man, I'll figure it out. I'll learn better, I promise. But it's a really cool system. Again, if you like deducing games, like puzzles of any kind, it's a really cool game. The holes in the cards that follow her path, like the number of paths are really cool. So that mechanism is something I've never seen, and I don't even know how it can be used in other games without referencing this one. You know, oh, it's the Black Sonata thing. But yeah, check it out. It is, again, you can find it on Upstart Board Gamer. He has plenty of copies of this and the expansion. You can buy either this, the expansion, or both. So check it out there. And thanks for watching. Hopefully going to be streaming some more. I'm trying to find a big enough table or a high enough camera tripod to shoot Dwellings of Eldervale. So hopefully stay tuned for that. But we'll be back in a little bit. Thanks for watching, guys, and take it easy.